In the ancient age, a time beyond memory, this world was found, settled, consumed, and discarded by the old core. The governors, overseers, barons, and kings left behind fought and warred over what few resources remained, leaving the already wasted world in ruin. In their day, they created great wonders of science and engineering, and inhuman horrors beyond imagining in their pursuit of progress, pride, and profit. It was too much for the gods of Eukon to bear. They struck down the wicked, scouring the land with holy fire, leaving nothing of them but ash and dust. The world heals, civilization returns, but the legacy of the old kingdoms remain. Heroes must rise to hold the darkness at bay, serving the will of the gods of Eukon.
Welcome back to Gods of Eukon, a post-apocalyptic RPG set on a forgotten planet in the far undefined future. Welcoming back our players today, we've got Mike Medeiros as Thermidor.
I need to figure out this mute thing. Hello, everyone.
Terry Shull as Corva.
Good evening, everyone.
George Silsby as Phineas Bogg.
I wish you could see my face, but my opera doesn't want to cooperate, so virtual wave.
It's called Bad Opera.
Yeah.
And Mario Rodriguez as Brian Dango.
Hey, everybody.
Bad Opera, isn't that like the name of every Klingon opera ever written?
It's called Broadway musicals.
Or musical. Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding, I like Broadway.
You better.
Anyway, when we left off, we successfully completed our conversion from D20 to Fate, and the party was released from their prison and set out into the city of Pains Pike. There, they followed Corva to one of her old haunts, a bar by the name of The Jungle, run by a dear old friend of hers. The cougar woman Muriel.
Oh, she's a cougar, all right.
Yes, I said panther before, but I think cougar works better.
Meow.
She greeted them all with open arms and warm drinks and hot food.
That wasn't all that was hot.
They caught up with each other with the situation in the city, and just all around had a good time, relaxing, thankfully, after being in prison for so long. The next day, they were met by Paige, a page of the government here in the city, and led to the Toll House, the center of government in Pains Pike on the Overpass. There, they were met by the ruling council of the city, Chairman Rothspike, who had initially freed you from prison, and the speakers for each of the districts of the city. There, he caught you up on the goings-on in the city and his need for help outside of his realm of control. The Crusade, though invited to help defend the city from the growing threat of the Red Shirt Raiders, the Crusade had overstepped their initial bounds and seemed to be taking over in a subversive way. Unable to truly stop it, he has tasked the party with going deep into the Crypt Ark, the underground bunker that once housed the ancestors of the founders of Pains Pike. It would be a treacherous mission, but not one without support. You were met with Tiffy, the Speaker of the Merge, the ground-level district of the city, and led to a staging area, and that's where we pick things up today.
So, TLDR, welcome to the jungle. You gonna die!
And I want your stuff.
No.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to your dead body.
Okie doke. So, you're once again in the merge, in a modestly sized house. It looks something like a barracks for the pikemen. Inside, Tiffy is there with you after coming down from the toll house, and inside, in addition to her, is a small squad of pikemen who are seeing to their equipment, their armor, and going about their duties of the day.
So she's like the councilwoman that, like, her name's Tiffy, and I find her name interesting.
Yes, yeah. She's the representative of the merge, one of the elected members of the city council.
I really have to ask, and I do ask, actually, in character. I say, so when we're sitting there, like, fiddling our thumbs or whatever, and I'm playing with my playing cards that I cheat with, I say, so Tiffy, how does the electoral process work in this town?
You see, it's a popular vote kind of thing. You're nominated by citizens, and we vote once every 3 years or so.
So if I was to go out right now and ask at the average person, what do you think of Tiffy being in? They would all like, give me the thumbs up, or, do they actually know who you are?
Well, you've got to be at least known to be nominated. I mean, for me, I was just a pikeman captain. I helped beat back a few raiders here and there. I ran with a couple convoys, but I'm not that special.
Yeah, I know you're not, because you know why? I don't recall seeing you on any posters being voted into this position. So I'm just curious, who actually makes that decision? And by the way, who does your hair?
Oh, I can get my hair done over at the salon on 12th Street.
12th Street?
Thank you.
Oh my God! I get my gun shined over there.
But the posters have been down for well over a year now, so I'm surprised you haven't seen any.
Really? Were there ever any posters? Be honest with me, girl.
Well, of course there were posters. The people who helped me run the election, they did a lot of work.
How much money does your father really have?
My father? I don't really come from a well-off family. Why
were you elected then? Because it wasn't because the people wanted you. Come on, girl.
Oh, it was. Like I said, I was a pikeman captain.
Really? And how well were you received before that? Like, did the people actually say, "We want Tiffy"? Come on now.
Behind you.
I come up from behind him, and I smack him square upside the head.
Thank you.
There's a chuckle from directly behind you, Korva, and as you turn, you see a rather tall-looking pikeman standing there, his pike rifle sitting right next to him. Got to him before I did. Listen here, fella. Tiffy might not look like much, but she's one of the best who's ever served on the wall. She's a little shy about what she's done, but don't underestimate her. And don't try and disparage her around her people.
We're talking in private, buddy.
Phineas, shut up before he takes your head off.
Phineas, is it?
Today. Maybe not tomorrow, but yes, for now, Phineas.
You do know you're in a pikeman barracks, right?
That's my whole point. Pike. I get it. Pike point.
He's completely lacking in self-awareness. You'll have to
apparently.
I am completely lacking in self-awareness. So humor me, because you have nothing to lose.
For about 3 times now, I've heard the mention of Tiffy being a pikeman captain, and you're trying to talk crap about her.
I actually called pikeman captain. She did. So I'm just kind of going with it and asking questions.
So did it not occur to you that this might have been her home barracks?
I'm asking the questions. I just want the answers.
I suggest you be a bit more courteous in the future before you find one of our motorized pikes shoved so far up your ass you're tasting metal.
I look over at Dango and I said, I'm so tired of sticking up for this guy. If the pikemen take him out.
Are you kidding? I'm done. I'm out.
I just step back and watch.
And I say,
It's all yours, pal.
thank you for being so transparent.
Before he says anything else, Tiffy comes up behind him and puts a hand, reaching up pretty high to put a hand on his shoulder. It's all right, Rex. It's okay. He doesn't know. And then she blushes for a moment and turns away.
And then I say, in my defense, I say, I wanted to see if the others would stick up to you, and now I know you are deserving of your title because you inspire loyalty. That was just a test. I'm sorry that it hurt your feelings. We're all good now.
Sure.
Have a drink, and I offer her my flask.
She courteously declines.
And I say, no offense, I don't know you. I know what the world, your local population says about you, but I had to get a feel for the true loyalty of your men and your women in this area, and you just proved it. So thank you.
Rex, you can stand down from white knight mode now.
Oh,
If you say so, but if he's bugging you any further, just say the word. Look, Rex, these guys are going down into the Cryptarch. And you see his expression suddenly change from this stern, critical look to shock and then pity. Well, how about I get you guys equipped? You're gonna need it. So he turns around and starts moving boxes around looking for the right crates.
Cool.
We need guns, and body armor. Also, grenades.
Tiffy
I
walks
like
up to you, Brian, and excuse me, that weapon, that looks very well maintained. What kind of rifle is that?
Oh, it's out of character for a second. What long gun do I have again?
Lucille?
Lucille.
Oh my! She said rifle.
I thought Lucille was a rifle.
No, Lucille.
I thought Lucy was a bat.
Lucille is a high caliber pistol.
Okay.
Oh, what? Oh, okay.
Stepping back, that is a very well maintained pistol. What kind of weapon is that?
Oh, it's Reachman's. It's a Reachman's. It's a
He shoots
40
things.
caliber.
Her eyes light up. A Reachman. That's pre-scouring. Where did you find that?
Well, it's
I
a long
look
story.
very intently because I would love to know the answer to this.
It belonged to an old friend of mine.
And my eyebrow raises.
Fair enough, but that's a story I want to hear. I'm a bit of a gun nut.
It belonged to my wife.
Oh.
Oh, you had a wife?
And I kind of smile and nod, kind of knowingly. I had a feeling.
And I say, yeah, I had a wife too. And then I start drinking from my flask.
Rex, how's it coming on the other weapons? As she calls to him, he turns around with a large crate of weapons of many different kinds. We've got a full range of stuff. We've got a few extra pike rifles in here, a few rifles, pistols. I think he roots through, pulls something out. It looks like this handheld knife with a metal belt around the front, around the blade. He pulls the trigger on it, and it hums like. Yep, we got a ripper here. Sets that down.
Oh my god.
So, take your pick, whatever you need.
I'll take it all.
I would like to do at least. I need something. You know me. I like range, but I also like stealth. So if I could get a couple of daggers and a rifle, I'd be happy.
So he goes through the pile and pulls out this rather rough-looking rifle, but it's got a kind of a bulbous front barrel to it, and he hands it to you. This is a local-built hunting rifle. It's got a suppressor on the front that should muffle and nearly quiet any shot that you make, so that should satisfy your need there. And he pulls through a couple things again. Looks like we got a... You said you like knives. I've got a couple smaller ones here, but I've also got... And he pulls out something that might as well be a short sword.
Oh, I like that.
That'll work. Hands that to you.
Yeah. And you have like a something for the offhand, like a small dagger.
And he pulls out a couple smaller daggers, as well as a couple throwing knives.
Perfect. Gear up with at least the weaponry for right now.
Okie doke. So we don't know too much what's deep in the Cryptarch, but we've done enough scouting parties inside the area directly behind the Mausoleum to answer anything that you need to know.
That. What'd you just say?
I said we do patrols inside the Mausoleum periodically, so we know pretty much what you need to know before we get to the gate itself. So if you have any questions.
Is anybody else gonna get anything?
I have to make a quick stop after we load up.
I'm assuming that we get ammunition along with this.
Yes.
Thanks.
Alright, so what do you got for me?
Well, you've got a fine sidearm there, so I don't think you'll need anything to replace that. And your long arm looks like it's in pretty good condition, used and clearly used recently. So we've got enough ammo to resupply you.
Good.
What else do you need?
Body armor. I got a feeling that place is going to be just a bit dodgy.
It is. It certainly is. Well, we've got... it depends on what kind of armor you want. Light, heavy. We don't have any Crusade-type power armor, but we got enough to deflect a few bullets or the occasional blade.
Probably light. I like
Same for me.
on my feet. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell you what. He starts leafing through a few things. Here's a light leather vest. It's made of biox hide, cured, and some nice embroidery on it, and it'll fit nicely under that quite handsome jacket you got there.
Anything? Your duster. Anything that might keep the fur from getting ruffled?
I've got more leather. If you want some quilted cloth, we got that too.
Whatever's quietest.
Cloth it is.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Any explosives?
Like grenades.
We don't have much, but I'll give you what we can.
I just want a double barrel shotgun.
Well, that we have. I can give that to you. And he pulls out another scratch-built looking weapon, but it's very clearly a shotgun.
Ooh, thank you.
And here's enough ammunition for it. Careful where you point it. And then for Corva, he pulls out this lightweight coat, looks like, made of thick quilted padding.
Nice. Is it a long coat or a short coat?
It fits with the armor of the pikeman, so it's rather plain looking, long sleeve. Not so much a. It's more like a quilted shirt than a coat.
Okay.
And how about you, kid? What do you need?
I'll take 2 packages of gunpowder, some duct tape. Probably going to need any gears or gyros that you have.
Oh, you're a techie. I don't know what duct tape is, but I can get pretty much anything else you need. Here, I'll hand... Jesse, get over here. And you see a rather small-looking girl with really, really big glasses. And she looks a little excitable. Not quite as excitable as Paige, but she definitely seems cut from the same cloth as Therm. Oh, hi. You need parts.
Yeah.
I gotcha. And she pulls a big bin of scrap and sets it in front of you, starts rooting through stuff. And as she's looking for stuff, she's talking technobabble that really only you and her would understand. So, looks like everyone's at least getting through you need. That's when Tiffy comes up to you, Brian. If you need to run your errand, now would be a good time.
Roger that.
So where are you headed?
Back, guys. I'm headed off to the Fargo Farms office.
Okay.
This off.
So you saw the office a couple times while you've been in the city. Once on your way up to the temple, and again on your way down from to and from the toll house. It's up on the ramp, the large sloped structure that leads up to the overpass. As you walk through the streets, you notice more. You notice the Crusaders patrolling and very few pikemen around. They seem to be focused on the gate and the wall. Similar, it's more of a mixture as you get to the ramp itself and heading towards the Fargo office. In front of the office, though, you see a single Crusader in combat armor, not powered armor. He seems like he's not guarding the place, more like he's casing it.
Crusader.
Dogman. He just looks at you. Okie doke. Inside, the building itself is built of scrap metal and wood. A little rough, but over the years it's been draped with a couple tapestries here and there, and some wallpaper. There's a receptionist desk as soon as you walk inside, and a young woman is typing away at a typewriter. Just tick, 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 tick. Welcome to Fargo Farms. How may I help you today? Tap, 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 tap.
Yes, hi, how are you, young
You're not
lady?
there, Phineas. Did you go with him?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Were you tailing behind him this entire time?
I was. I find him fascinating, and I like to troll him.
So before he says anything,
He's
you're
like
just...
my buddy, but he's not my buddy.
So, Brian, Phineas has been there the entire time, and you didn't even notice.
I'm
until
shadowing
he
him.
immediately pipes up behind
Without
you.
shadowing him, you know what I mean?
Phineas, why are you...
I sort of like to pop up, sort of like a zit, you know. So I'm just like...
Hello. Two of you. How may I help you?
Yes! You may have heard of me. My name is Phineas Bogg.
Nope.
Shut the hell up!
I had an appointment.
She
go
turns
back
to
to
a
the
Rolodex next to her and starts flipping through it. I see no Phineas Bogg on the schedule today, sir.
Well, I'm so sorry that you didn't do your job and write down the appointment. There's not much I can do about that. Is your manager here?
Ma'am, I'm not with him.
Then how may I help you?
Is your manager here?
Ignore him.
Brian, is your
don't go.
manager here?
Bog, turn around and go and wait for me.
I look at Brian and I say, "Do you have no faith in me?"
I have no faith in you right now. I'm trying to conduct business. Now get out of my way.
I
This
look at her and I
commotion has caught the attention of the people in the back end. An older woman steps forward. She has severe features, like she's seen quite a lot in a relatively short period of time. And she steps up and, in a very commanding voice for a woman of such a small frame, "Is everything all right here?"
It's
Are you the
fine,
manager?
ma'am. I've just been tailed by an old friend.
I say, I made
Brian.
an appointment.
Oh, I barely recognized you. My God, you look terrible.
He
Well,
does.
I got robbed on the highway, assaulted, and then tossed in a jail cell.
Oh, that was you. I didn't
Yeah.
know. If I had, we would have intervened. These crusaders think they can run this city.
Yes, but I brought this.
I'm pleased. We'd feared the worst when you didn't report in. Do you know this man?
We came together on the convoy. He's fairly harmless.
I say, well, we have the same sister. His dad gets around. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that where's the manager? Are you the manager?
I'm the director of this local branch of Fargo
Good.
Farms.
Excellent. This young woman looked through her little Rolodex and she did not find my appointment. Now I feel slighted because I know I made an appointment for my friend here, which I use that word loosely.
Do me a favor and kick him out.
I'm talking in character because I don't metagame. So anyways,
Now,
I'm talking in character too.
Phineas,
No, I'm talking in character.
this would be a good opportunity to use one of your skills to try and prevent from being thrown out.
I know I have some good ones. Hold on. Let me look it up, which is fine. So character sheet. Well, there was like a talk bullshit one, or was there something else?
Your great skill would be hey, Alan.
What?
Silver tongue.
Oh yeah. So what do? Talk silver tongue. See, I'm looking
So
for it. Under the faces.
so here's how this works. I set a passive resistance because you're going to try and convince this person not to throw you out.
Oh, all right.
I have no idea what George is doing, but I imagine it's going to be good.
So I say, look, all I want to know is if you're going to take us seriously, because my friend here, and I use that term loosely, is a hardcore person. And we have been through so much stuff over the last several weeks, I think, that we don't take no flack. So, yeah. we
George, here's how this
Yeah.
works. First, you're going to roll.
Okay.
So roll for the skill you're trying to use, in this case, Silver Tongue.
And
Just
I'm
click
gonna
the
say,
dice under that skill.
Don't depend on an assist from my character.
All right, Silver Tongue. All right.
So you're going to try and aim for... I'm going to set a passive resistance, and you're trying to roll above that resistance.
Okay, so my Silver Tongue it says great plus
Yes.
4. So what do I
So
roll?
you have +4 already for that skill. So you're going to roll, and we're going to see if you get a more or less.
All right, so it's all D6s. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay, and how many?
It does. Just it's going to roll 4. You
4 of them?
just click the dice.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Hold on. I forgot that's how this works. Okay. Silver Tongue. There it is. Okay. Boom.
All right. So she
What is that?
she seems unconvinced. So you rolled a 4. Let's see. Wow, 0 plus 0. Wow.
Equals 0. So
So she seems unconvinced that you really have any reason to be here at all, but since we are starting in Fate, I'm going to make a suggestion. You can invoke your aspect. You have 3 aspects you can try. You've got I'm a nice guy, really. Your trouble aspect, the truth hurts too much, but also I know a guy.
Yes, and I say I know a
So
guy.
no. Here's how this works. You're going to try and justify to me how this aspect helps that skill that you just used.
Excellent. So I will do that. And I look at her and I say,
No. You're talking to the GM right now.
Yes, I know.
So how does I know a guy apply to that skill for your character?
Because I'm going to name drop. I mean, we just got hired by people in power from this town.
Okay.
Including Tiffy.
I'm
going to name drop Tiffy. You know what?
I'm still trying to figure out
What's happening?
what you're trying to prove to somebody who was already helping him. But whatever.
I have to stick my nose in it. For the hell of it. That's just the way I roll.
Okay, that's cool.
I mean, because the way Bog looks at it, like, is, I'm bored. I need to do something. You know, like, what's going on? Oh, I'm going to stick my nose in that. Kind of like, you know, for what you just said. So I name drop Tiffy. Because Tiffy and I were good. As far as I know.
Representative Tiffy?
Yeah, the one whose face isn't on the posters, but she's there.
That name might carry a little weight in the merge, but this is the on-ramp.
Oh my god! It's the on-ramp. So sorry, I should have clarified before I came over here. Did I waste my time? Because I had somebody tell me that if I came over here to help out my buddy, that the on-ramp thing would not be brought up.
Now here's how Invoking Aspects works.
Okay.
Invoking Aspects, you spend fate points. Each of you has 4 fate points, and Mario's gone, so he's missing this. If you want to invoke an aspect to either re-roll a skill or to add 2 to your current roll, then you spend a fate point. Conversely, I can invoke your aspects or your trouble in order to complicate things.
You could, but since I have
But
nothing
doing
to lose,
so, you would earn a fate point back.
Ooh.
Now, are the fate points that are currently in our character sheet correct?
How many does it say you have?
6.
That's good for now.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to just go ahead and invoke a fate point to re-roll. May I do so?
Go ahead.
Here we go.
I was laughing my ass off. I just had a sobering realization. I left the glue gun on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
I'm not seeing it on my chat thing. What did I get?
I haven't seen a roll yet.
I haven't seen
hang
the
on.
roll.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, hang on.
And you might want to repeat that thing about the points for.
Did you hear
Mario.
everything I said, Mario?
No, I didn't.
So the way aspects and skills work in Fate, all of your aspects affect how your you got a 3. So how Fate works is a constant spending and earning of Fate points. Fate points are earned when I invoke a trouble, a compel on your character, trying to get you to do a certain thing based on your aspects and your trouble. However, you can invoke your own aspects by spending fate points.
I kind of wish he had heard what I said to her, but whatever.
So you just re-rolled and you try to name drop Tiffy, but it doesn't work very well.
I'm like, really? Tiffy?
She's unconvinced based on what you're saying, but also by Brian's continued look of bewildered disdain.
This one.
So I look back at Brian, and I'm like, I mouth the words, this is why I wish I had my webcam going. I'm like, really? Come on, dude. But whatever. And I look back and I go, fine, you don't know Tiffy? I'm going to take this to a higher court. I will talk to you later. And just walk off.
So as she watches him leave, she looks to you, Brian. How did he survive?
I don't know. I don't know. He's like a cockroach. He's been a pain in my. He has been a pain in my ass since Craterton.
Perhaps that survivability will prove useful.
If you can't invoke Tiffy, I don't know what to do. So I'm sorry.
We're going down into these caverns to basically help out the city, and I'm probably not coming back, so I figured I'd drop this off.
She holds out her hands for it. Thank you. Digital currencies are precious, even if few people honor them. But the information contained in this will be of great use to the farmers. And while you're here, I'll offer you the... I'll offer you something in return. Since you're going to the caverns, we had... I need to ask you something if you're going down there. As it happens, we had a member of our order go down there to investigate pre-war technology and Titan relics. If you can learn of something of what happened, we'd appreciate it.
I'll see if I can find the guy.
If you're going down there, no doubt it's the chairman that sent you. He's been speaking to us regularly about investigating the Titan relics that are contained down there. So you already know something of what's there. But rumor has it we aren't the only ones, so please be careful. And to help you, she turns around and fishes around a bit and returns with something. This was discovered on one of our previous ventures into the Mausoleum. We think it may open a few doors. We haven't ventured deep enough to find out.
What is it?
It is a device. We haven't had time to thoroughly investigate it, but perhaps it'll be of use to you.
It's not gonna detonate on me, is it?
No, it's not explosive. It's a data device of some kind. We haven't determined its nature yet, but perhaps you will find some use for it. That works.
Well, maybe it runs a Titan. We could only hope. That would be useful.
Perhaps. I wish you luck, and if you do survive, and I certainly hope you do, please return and tell us what you found.
Definitely. It's great to finally meet you after all those video calls.
Indeed. As difficult as it is to maintain such technology. Loath as I am to admit it, we've gotten a lot of help from the Techno Reapers here in town.
Those guys creep me out.
They are a little creepy, but they certainly know their business. And the ones here, they're fairly benign compared to some of the others out in the Wasted Wilds. They're certainly far more kind than those near the home office.
Speaking of the home office, give my best to Janice and everybody over there. It's been 3 years since I left Terralia.
I certainly will. Next communications opportunity we have.
Anyway, I'll let you know what I find and if I come back. By the way, do you have a lead on my next assignment after we're done?
Nothing yet. In fact, the one I just gave you about our operative down in the Mausoleum, that would have been it. So, happy synchronicity.
Indeed. I'm going to try not to die.
Yes. And
Good one, and,
do look out for that chatty fellow that was with you. He might be annoying, but I don't sense anything overtly malicious about him.
Other than my cologne. And I pipe up polo and I walk off.
I swear to God and country, Phineas Fogg, I If you get trapped down there, I'm going to leave you down there.
I love you, Brian.
I'm going to go. Everyone's waiting on me. I'll be back on payday. Still Friday, isn't it?
Close enough. So, Brian, I'm going to compel you with no good deed goes unpunished. I want you to...
I'm getting a very bad vibe here.
Oh, this is not going to end well. Okay.
You are the White Knight. You see an affront. You see something that isn't right, and you have to do something about it. And right now, you are quite perturbed by Phineas. So you're going to grab him, or attempt to grab him by his collar and drag him out of there before either of you does something you're going to regret.
Well, hang on. I voluntarily took off because I was insulted by this chick.
And then you apparently walked back in without anyone noticing. Great stealth
true, I
roll,
did.
by the
I
way.
did. Yeah, you're right there.
Before I do that, can I say one last thing to her?
Sure.
Hey, watch out for the Crusaders. There's one casing outside.
We're aware of him, and don't worry, we've got our eyes on him too.
All right.
So I want you to roll. Let's see.
What am I rolling?
Let's do survivalist.
What do I roll to wring his neck?
Let's go with just roll mediocre.
You don't even have to roll. Just it's not like I'm gonna like jump out of the way and push a fat guy who's in the line in front of me. Actually,
What? Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna.
Phineas, I want you to roll mediocre as well.
Okay. Just the plus
wait,
0.
Wait, what
Yeah,
was-
plus 0.
What do I roll? Hold on.
No modifier, right? -1 mediocre.
Ah, shit.
Mediocre, you said?
Yes.
On what? For what?
This is resisting Brian's grabbing you by the
right.
collar.
Skills,
Where it says all
stress.
mediocre skills plus 0. There's a little dice right next to it.
Yeah.
That.
I'm not. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh shit. I don't have anything. So what do I?
Just click the dice, George.
Click the dice.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything like?
Just all mediocre skills.
George,
Okay.
you're
I'll click the one that says -1 because
No.
What?
George, are you discovering a skill? You have a lot blank there.
Yeah, I have a mediocre skill for dodging my buddies who are supposed to not attack me.
So how
I don't know
about
how you would
on
phrase
average
that,
skills, you discover that you are agile, and we'll add agility there.
okay.
It
I
is
wouldn't
poor.
say that job. I would say I'm more like an old fart who's like, oh my god, I gotta dodge.
All right, it's done. So, Phineas, you go to grab him by the collar to drag him out, but he's already turning to leave, and before you can even release your grip, he's the one dragging you out of there.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh god.
You're still holding him by the collar, and and he darts out and kind of
I'm
pulls
kicking
you with
myself
him.
out. What are you doing? If it looks good, that's fine. I'm like, yeah, dude, go along with it.
So as you leave, the sight of Phineas dragging you by the hand out there kind of
I put his
confuses
hands on my collar, literally. I'm like, yeah, no, a little higher.
confusing
That's
the
not good.
casing crusader as you two walk the. You right yourself, of course, Brian, but the two of you walk back, bickering here back and forth on the way back to the barracks. So it's about this time that Corva,
Rabble.
you notice that it's been a little too quiet in the barracks.
Okay.
Where's Bog?
All right. Or didn't I just see him leave though? And I don't think I would have been that upset by it.
No, but you knowing what he gets into.
Knowing how he chaps Dango, I would be all like, shit.
And it's about time that the doors burst open and the two of them walk in, still bickering with each other. So, at this point, what are you guys arguing about?
I'm just like, dude, you need to grab me a little higher next time because I want to make you look good. I don't care how I look. Yes, I do, actually. Never mind. What's your
I was
argument?
trying to grab you to wring your neck. What the hell were you doing there?
I was trying to help you. Look,
I work there.
I invoked Tiffy. If I can't name check Tiffy, what good is she?
No, Tiffy.
Why and who were you name dropping me to?
Oh, she's there?
Yes.
I'm like, oh, hi, Tiffy. I was just invoking your name like a deity. No big deal.
Why?
Because you're a deity to me. Sorry.
I'm gonna take this moment and realize.
Are
that
you
the attention's no
chastising
longer
my
on me,
religion?
And I'm gonna walk over to Corva and just like, I'm going to go for a smoke. If he follows me, kill him.
And then I say, where's Therm?
I look at Dango and I said, it would be my distinct pleasure. And I turn as I hear him yelling, looking for Therm, and I'm gonna try and cock block that son of a bit.
Or cock kick. I don't know, whatever you're... Oh my god.
I'm sorry, leave my Therm alone.
He's definitely not my type.
Therm alone.
Oh, there's so many Game of Thrones references I could use right now, but I'm not going to.
Great.
So I'm just gonna say, and so while I let Dango go off and get a smoke.
So this is definitely a compel on your side, Corva, the White Knight Syndrome.
There it is. That's the one.
Oh my god.
White Knight.
Okay. White
Tiffy.
Knight Syndrome. And am I gonna be using...
No, I'm compelling you.
You're compelling me. So my
you're,
White Knight Syndrome
you're gaining
is,
a fate point.
He's already kind of... I know just by the look on Dango's face that Phineas is just a shit disturbing for no actual reason. I can see it. I can kind of smell it on his on his the dude reeking again. And Therm has had just a little bit of peace, and he's been and I've been taking great pleasure in him kind of preparing for the quest. And
he's quite jovially still chatting up the ever increasingly confusing sounding technobabble with the pikeman.
I don't want that little bit of happiness he's experiencing right now to be corrupted. So
It's going to be though, unless you
and I still feel like half a mother to him, so I'm gonna stop Phineas from bugging him.
Because Therm's my boy. Good luck. Let's see where the dice fall. I hope.
So what are you gonna do, Corva?
I'm gonna jump in front of him, grab him by the lapel, look him straight in the eye, and say, "Leave him alone just for a little bit."
Roll acrobatics.
It's not like I'm going to resist. So if you need to, go ahead.
You're not gonna resist?
Of course not.
Not even passively, like a instinctual reaction?
Nope.
Okay
Reverse
then, so
psychology.
she does just what she said.
Cool.
No
So
roll
I say-
necessary, apparently.
I look at her and I say, but he's my boy.
And he's mine too.
And then I say, after a pause, I say, fair enough.
Okay.
I said to her, and Ross, you know where I'm going with this. I say to her, there's a sigh, and I say, fair enough. I had a family once. I'll let it go. And I kind of just back off.
And as much as she appreciates, this is Corva, and as much as she appreciates where he's coming from, there's zero pity.
Itty bitty zero pity.
And at this point, Tiffy makes herself known again. This time, she's discarded her yellow and black robes of state with the uniform of the pikeman.
Oh, shit.
A broad-shouldered robe that extends a little bit from the shoulders outward and then tapers in like a tunic, cinched at the waist, and underneath is a thickly quilted armor underneath.
Like chainmail, almost?
Not so much chainmail, more like a very thickly padded cloth, meant to block more melee attacks. The robe, on the other hand, looks like it's more of a thick leather, something that could stop low-caliber bullets.
Exactly what Daenerys Stormborn wore on the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Which I have not seen. Say
I know,
nothing.
I'm just saying that
Say nothing.
it's not a spoiler.
Say nothing.
It's not a spoiler. I'm just
Say
saying,
nothing.
you described it good. That's all I'm saying. So that's cool.
So she stands before you, looking every inch the soldier. Her shy demeanor is gone,
Supposed.
and she seems ready to go. Pike in hand. All right, have you all been equipped?
Yes. I'm back in the room.
I still have my bag, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to cuss a lot of flack, and I'm going to look at her and say, "Have you ever been with a man?"
I'm gonna take my cigarette and burn it.
There's a reason I'm asking in character, so bear with me.
I'm gonna take my cigarette and burn it.
No, I'm going to take a step back because I want to see what Tiffy does.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
And why is that any of your business?
Because you're surrounded by men. So I just want to know... do you
Men
understand?
under my command.
Or... And I look at her and I say, or... And I sort of... So if I was texting this, there would be a ... And I'm saying, or... I'm waiting for her next answer.
What kind of outfit do you think I run?
Well, that's exactly my point. Are you a pikeman? Or are you a woman who is in the boys' club? Because I think you have proven that you are pretty awesome. However, you have to command respect. And the only reason I'm asking you this question is because you command my respect. So I'm challenging.
If I commanded your respect, you wouldn't ask me a question like that.
That's not true. You don't know me. I'm
And
odd.
you don't know me. So what makes you think asking a personal question like that is appropriate?
Because behind closed doors, and I look over the door when I say that, I say, means everything when you're a woman in a boys' club. I want you to succeed.
You have a very strange way of showing it.
I know. My mom told me that so many times, and I got so mad, but that's not the point.
Listen, please, for however long that you are near me, do not speak.
And
Okay.
I quiet down.
Good. Shall we be off then? Mike, okay?
I'm not sure.
I'm just playing the character. This isn't me personally. You guys know that, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
of
we
course.
do.
Just checking.
All right, let's. With all of that out of the way, she walks off, and the understanding is that you're to follow.
And I say, all right then.
So she leads you out of the barracks and back through the city itself. You pass through a few less densely populated urban areas and into what looks like farmland. as you walk from the outer reaches of the merge and back towards the on-ramp, but not towards the ramp itself, toward its side. And the closer you get, the sparser and sparser the land becomes, until you are within the shadow of the overpass. She looks around and says, "This is the Shadow Sweep. We try to cultivate as much of the land in this area as we can, but with the limited sunlight, thanks to the shadow of the overpass, it makes it very difficult. This area is much more barren and tends to invite those who prefer the shadow, if you understand what I mean."
Yeah, I can understand it. What else do I see by looking around in this area? Is it populated? Are there people? Or is it just a barren flat land?
It's sparsely populated. It's not people tend to congregate more towards the city proper, but there's still a few shacks and huts and the occasional bar out here. A couple... It looks like people tried to develop this area, but because of the perpetual shade, it is not as popular. Or it is not as populous. And as you get closer to this part of the overpass structure, you see why. Built into the base of the on-ramp is a ornate stone structure that appears to be very decorative. And as you get close, Tiffy says, "This is the entrance to the Mausoleum. For many years, it's served as housing the remains of the notable of the city, a place of honor. Until things began to creep up from the Cryptarch. Creatures that we don't really have a definition for. So it is remained closed but not sealed. We send troops in periodically to clear out the creatures that creep up. As such, it is the other reason for why this place is sparsely populated. The creatures tend to drive people away, and since it is within the walls of the city itself."
When was the last time you did a clear out, Tiffy?
We generally need to do it every few months. But even then, the occasional creature rises up. We don't have an official name for it, but some of my troops tend to call them ghouloids, something like that. I haven't really got a name for it. They are mechanical in nature.
Really?
Yes.
And the last time you guys clear out was a couple months ago?
That's correct.
Okay.
So you'll be the first one to go in several months.
So we're probably facing a full load.
Possibly, but we'll see. It varies. There doesn't seem to be a completely... It's unpredictable. Sometimes there are as many as 24, but last month there were about 8. It depends. And as you get close, she walks up to the entrance and stops, looking concerned at the entry. Normally this area is boarded up, but the barriers are all gone.
Okay. How the barrier, do they look they're just completely missing or destroyed?
It looks like it was purposefully cleared away.
So it's just missing.
Yes.
Okay. Can I notice any tracks?
Well, what skills do you have that would help you identify tracks?
That would be tracking.
All right, well, go ahead and roll.
Ooh.
Okay, so
I have a weird question about this.
yeah,
We're rolling D4s.
you're rolling fate dice. Fate
Right,
dice
okay.
are 6-sided dice,
Right,
but there
okay.
are 2 symbols a piece. There are pluses, which add to
Oh,
your
yeah.
base roll.
Okay.
You have minuses, which take
So
away
everything's
from
like-
your base roll, and zeros, which don't add anything.
Okay.
So for your skill, you rolled for tracking, so you have a +3 to your tracking already.
Right.
So you automatically have +3 to your roll. So the fate dice are going to either add to or take away. You rolled a 0, a minus,
plus.
and 2 pluses.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Thank you.
So
I
a
was trying to
+3.
figure out how to read it. Okay.
So as you look around, you notice sets of tracks here and there. Some of them look fairly old and washed away, but a few look relatively fresh, look like they've been made within the last week or so. There are booted footprints, but most clear are the very large and very deep, heavy tracks of someone in heavy armor. Very heavy armor.
So heavier armor than the pikemen.
Yes.
Which way are those tracks heading?
Inside the mausoleum.
Of course they are. Okay, I look at Tiffy and I say, somebody bigger than you guys is headed down there. Any idea of who else might be wanting this tech and who might be sniffing around?
She
That's a
looks
good
to
question.
where you're indicating and notices the tracks on the ground and leans down to inspect the tracks herself. These boot prints are heavier than anything than me and my people wear. And there's only one group that wears armor that heavy.
Crusaders.
She nods.
So the Crusaders are, even though they try to say like we want to stick to the city and do whatever, they seem to be interested in our mission.
The Crusaders, not unlike the Reapers, also covet pre-scouring technology. If they heard the rumors that there are Titan relics in here, technology that predates even the old kingdoms, that predates the gods, they'd be interested. They'd be more than interested. It's probably why that's probably why the Inquisitor Sevis is so interested, would send people here. Why he's so interested in taking control of the city.
Yep.
If he's trying to mask what he's really after, if he's trying to curry favor with Lumentar, he'd want to present him with a Titan relic.
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay. Now I look down and I realize I'm wearing cloth, and I'm thinking I might be a little under armored right now.
Yeah,
We
me
might be a
too.
little underarmed. I don't have anything that can pierce armor. At least not power armor.
I have noticed one thing.
What's that?
Well, there's fresh tracks. There's tracks that aren't as fresh, but they all have one commonality,
They're all going inside the mausoleum.
and none of them are coming out.
Suicide mission?
She
What
takes
else
another
is-
look at the tracks and nods. You're right. No one has come out.
By choice or by design? Do they know they're going into a failed mission?
We don't know yet.
Hmm.
Do you know? Have your people gone in and come back out?
Yes. My last expedition came out relatively unscathed.
Well, it means that they're still in there, but it could also mean that there might be something that has precluded them from returning.
Right. Well, no sense in debating it any further. Let's
We
head
should mark
inside.
that. We should definitely
She
mark that.
hoists her pike, checks the ammunition, and does a quick spin with the weapon in her hand, slamming it down loudly into her fist, trying to psych herself up as she takes the first step inside.
Okay.
Following
I'll
her
follow.
in, as you
So will I.
As you step inside, it takes a moment for most of your eyes to adjust. It is... Let me...
I was gonna say I may
Yeah.
have, I have a high awareness,
Pretty dark in here.
but I don't know what my abilities are anymore since we went to Fate. Oh goodness, guys! I used to have dark vision.
Oh, come on. I'm trying to select the aspect text that I made, and I can't.
Oh really?
Yeah. It keeps bringing up something new.
Where would it be? It's not on my sheet, would it be?
Whoa. Nope, nope, nope. There we go. Come on. Okay, so... Ah, there we go. I've got it again. Just selected my screen with it.
Oh, I get it.
Okay,
Thanks to the-
so... Oh, damn it, did it again. Reorients my entire display. Alright, so the interior of this mausoleum. It is a somber place. Is that a good word for it? Yeah, that works. Not somber, sacred.
Oh, there's. Thank you.
There we go. That's better.
Okay.
As you look through, this is very clearly a sacred place. A place of reverence and respect. At least it once was. But as you look around, you notice that the crypts and tombs that have been placed in here, the caskets have all been thrown aside, and the bodies have all been disturbed, moved, or shuffled from their rest. Someone has gone through here with the intent of grave robbing.
Okay. That kind of doesn't disturb me as much as you would think. It's kind of expected in this area and this time. I look around. Does it look like the Greys were robbed a long time ago?
Not so much a long time ago. It looks relatively recent. Most of the corpses are decayed or just completely skeletal. Others look a bit more recent, but it's been at least a decade before anyone new was interred here. Whoever went through was very thorough and has gone through every single casket. So this is more of a desecrated sacred place.
Okay. I'm going to take a look around to see if I can gather whether or not the Crusaders were a part of this operation.
Okay. So what skill do you want to use to try that?
Awareness?
All right.
Nice choice.
And let's see, that's there.
Welcome back, Mike.
I'm not sure if his audio's up yet.
Ah. Okay, as you look around, it's hard to tell. You don't really see any indication whether it was the Crusaders or someone before. You don't notice any kinds of handprints that would tell you one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
There are footprints in the dust and dirt on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
but they're whatever went through here moved and backtracked, but the heaviest footprints, the ones in armor, seem to walk straight through.
Okay. That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
So I know right now, really, that the Crusaders in the heavier footprints were men on a mission, and the mission was, we don't give a shit about dead bodies and what they had. So that's kind of it.
Tiffy, on the other hand, is looking on in horror. Her staff falls to the ground next to her with a loud clang, and she nearly falls to the ground in shock and horror at what's happened here.
So it is recent.
Mm-hmm. She didn't know about it.
Okay. Because if they had gone through with their clearing a couple of months ago, it's been at least, this has happened within a couple of months then.
I'm only asking this question out of perspective for my character. How old is Tiffy? She's young, right? Tiffy's young, right? Like she's in her early 20s or under?
Mid-20s.
Okay. I'm just asking because my character's looking at her like, you're in charge because of default. No, well, not default, but you know what I mean? Like,
she's an elected leader and a captain of the guard.
Elected leader and a captain, and yes. So I'm just trying to get a perspective in my brain. And I say to her, I was wrong about you because you are showing that you actually care.
She doesn't register your words. She's in shock at what she sees, at what she's witnessing around her. These are the bodies of the founders of this city, the most notable people, the greatest of leaders, the bravest, the heroes of her childhood, the figures of the stories they used to inspire people, and their graves have all been desecrated.
Bog always reacts inappropriately, so he's saying this now, even though it's the wrong time. Just be consistent.
Would I, because of my, I don't know how long we haven't really developed, or how long I've been a regular in this town, it's as close to a hometown as I've got, would I have recognized who these bodies are supposedly belong to?
Would you say that you helped Muriel found the jungle?
Yeah. I probably her fund the opening so I could give her a home. Yeah.
So you're well enough acquainted with this town that it's as close to home as you can get. So you're familiar enough with the local legends and the folklore to understand what a crime this is.
Okay. And a crime to them, not necessarily, again, to me, just because of the little bit of... It
would resonate with you because, I mean, this is... It's important enough that it affects you.
It would be like, yeah, to them, this is like overturning the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand her anger, and I have a difficult time not kind of going over to her and giving her some moral support, but my instincts are, I'm in a cave, it's dark, I need to find out what's going on, and death is yours. So I have to continue looking to see what's around. I don't really care who did it, because the people who are going after these the bigger problems down the hall.
Thermidor.
Death is on the Door is actually a great title for a future story.
Thermidor, are you with us?
I'm here.
So I'm going to offer you a compel. Your trouble. People confuse me. You are unsure how to react in this situation. You've been aware of Tiffy. You've seen her transition from the shy, embarrassed public figure to the commanding guardsman, and you feel like you need to say something to offer her comfort, but you're not sure whether it's going to come out right or not.
I don't understand. What am I supposed to do?
You're going to try and offer some kind of comfort to break her out of her stupor. Try to say something a little inspiring. I want you to make a... let's call it a rapport roll. Just roll for mediocre. Unless you want to discover that skill.
Nice.
Okay, not bad for a mediocre roll.
That was
So-
not a mediocre roll.
What do you say to her that pulls her out of the funk she's in?
I'm sorry, but we have business, and sitting here and crying over spilt milk isn't going to help us get this done. The sooner we get this done, the sooner we can figure out who did this.
All right, and that earns you an additional fate point, Mike.
Cool.
So while she doesn't quite register the words you're saying, the intent in meeting breaks through her momentary shock, and she pulls herself back up on her pike, takes another look around, and that shock and sadness is replaced by pure rage. I'm going to find who did this, and I'm going to skewer them on a pike on the wall of this city. And she charges into the mausoleum.
And I say, pikemen for the win.
And you're going to stay there, watching her run off on her own?
Yes, because I'm a coward.
I'm going after her.
Yep.
And I pull out my gun, but I stay back.
So you hear her footsteps echo into the back of the mausoleum. Following the footsteps, Brian, and she's leading you deeper into the mausoleum. But as you get further, you notice that the smoothness of the walls is starting to become more rough. The ground from this flat pavement is giving way to uneven dirt and rock, until you find yourself no longer in a mausoleum, but a cave. And at you finally catch up with Tiffy where she has stopped, and she's looking over something. The rage in her eyes has faded for the moment, but instead she's looking over a body.
Is that
Ew.
who I think it is?
I'm not sure yet. It's a little mangled. He's not in power armor, but I can't quite make it out.
Would he happen to have a emblem with a triangle and a 2 F's on it?
She brushes off the chest piece that the body is wearing, and it is a little scarred, but you make out a skull shape. And around the edge of the skull is a cog.
Techno Reaper. What was he doing down here?
I look over at Brian and I give him the look like, you're kidding, right?
So, Thurm, you recognize the emblem immediately. This was a Techno Reaper.
Send chills down my spine, but I'm not surprised.
I look at Therm's reaction and I kind of just absorb it.
We're gonna find a lot of stuff down here that might better be left buried.
Tiffy continues inspecting the body, further looking him over, clearing away dust. You notice that there have been There are several wooden stakes protruding from its chest, its stomach, and one in a leg. Its hand is grasping a custom-built energy weapon that has been shattered and where it's unserviceable. And okay, and in the other hand looks like a scrap-built scanner.
Can I also salvage it?
Yeah. It doesn't seem as badly damaged as the pistol was.
Looks like a booby trap. We better be careful.
Tiffy finally gets up. He doesn't look like... He might have been from the chapter here in town, but those folks are relatively benign, pretty content with fixing up people's stuff, not going searching for...
Never benign.
He looks like... Wait a minute.
I heard what Therm said.
What'd he say?
He said the Reapers are never benign.
Either way, you're right, there's probably traps ahead. Haven't been traps in here before. Where did they come from?
Have you been down this path before?
I have, but there's never been traps. And no one's ever reported to me about traps.
Maybe he was poking around something he shouldn't have.
Maybe.
It's also been a couple of months since your teams have been down here too, Tiffy. These things can go up pretty quickly.
Yeah, but who put them up?
I have a feeling we're gonna find out.
The creatures we put down, they're a little better than feral wretched. Just without the taste for human flesh.
Have the boot tracks still going in a single direction?
They're still following. This corpse looks a little older than those tracks.
Okay.
So, you guys head deeper in, the cavern looking a bit more rough the further you go. And...
Limbo.
That's when you reach the end of the cavern and Tiffy comes to a stop.
All
This
right.
is as deep as we ever go. There's nothing else here, but these tracks keep going. Don't tell me they breached the door.
What door?
She trots up ahead, getting ahead of you again.
I mark the spot and then I continue after her.
When you catch up to her, you see her gazing up at a massive blasted hole. This hole has been blasted into a massive metal door.
Wow.
The kind of thing that is not physically opened by strength. It's opened by a large, complicated, and heavy mechanism.
We're lucky they didn't take the whole cavern down.
This is impossible. The door's never been breached. Attempts have been made, and it's never been opened before. Even none of our explosives have ever been able to breach it.
There any idea what they used?
If it's Techno Reapers, I have a few ideas, but I'd have to poke around some more.
Look at that door.
We would have had to open it anyway to get into the Cryptarch, but whew.
How thick is the door?
It's about, I mean, it's the kind of thing you'd see
on a vault.
And in fact, Corva, this looks very much like one of the Ark doors.
Oh.
Talking about 2 feet thick of solid steel or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it wasn't just an explosive. There had to be some kind of a beam or plasma or something that cut through this. Does it look like it was cut out, or does it look like it was blown out?
It looks like a mix of both.
Okay.
Something a beam that weakened the door and an explosive to blast away the remains.
So a mix of weld and explosive, or solder,
Probably
or,
some
arc,
form
arc
of
weld or something.
some form of high energy microwave weapon.
Got it.
Something that only the Crusade would possess. Or other group that likes to salvage ancient technology.
You guys, we might be a bit. And I just stop and continue to kind of look in and take in the door. On the other side of the door, can I see any tracks?
The tracks do continue on the other side of the door, and there's no sign of any of the creatures that Tiffy mentioned yet, but it's hard to see through the hole yet.
I ask Therm, do you have any kind of a trap prevention or detection in your bag of tricks?
I've got this beat up scanner I picked up from the dead guy.
You think it might work?
No time like the present to find out.
So, Mike, do you have any skills that you'd like to use in order to help detect traps?
I have finding shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also stealthy shit, but I don't know if
Well played,
one
sir.
of those.
Well played.
You've also got a lot of pieces and parts. You could put something together.
True. Maybe modify it to be able to detect, I don't know, different wavelengths. I have parts from a laser pistol. Maybe I'm able to.
And the scanner you picked up a short while ago.
Yeah. Maybe I can modify the scanner to be able to detect maybe different heat signatures or false walls or things of that nature.
So as you're going through what you can do, Tiffy takes a step back, still in continued horror at what she's seen. I have to go back and report this. I'm sorry, I fully intended to come with you, but I have to let someone know.
Be careful on your way out. Although I don't think you should go alone, but
The path back to the Mausoleum is clear. We've cased it, but if someone has breached the door, especially if it's the Crusaders, the pikemen must be informed, and so must the Council.
Don't get caught, and do us a favor. Bring us some heavier gear.
might also want to bring a few pikemen back
Like
to
a
kind
few hundred
secure-
pikemen back.
to secure the area. We'd hate to have to.
If the Crusade have breached the door, they must be dealt with. It's likely we'll be fully engaged in routing them from the city if it comes to that. I don't know if I can send any more people in, but I will send aid and supplies as best I can.
Thank you.
Good luck on your journey. I wish you the best, and I do hope to see you all again. Even you, Bog.
Well, we're boned.
She gives you a final nod and trots back the other way the way she came.
You all right, Bog? You're
I
sniffling.
kind of give a fake salute with my, you know what I mean, like with my head, hand to the head, sort of respect thing, you know.
All right. So I kind of turn my attention over to Therm to see. Therm, is there anything you need? Anything I can give you?
I need your finger. Can you hold this right there while I solder it? I'll try not to burn you.
Okay, so I reach out my hand
More than
And-
one way to skin a cat.
and I realize that my fur is a little long and put my finger where he needs me to hold it. I trust you.
Trim that hair.
Hey, Phineas.
Yes.
If these guys went through all this trouble to get through this door, they're probably hot on something that they'd probably kill us over.
Hmm.
Probably a good idea if we don't get caught.
Yes. Any suggestions?
Silent recon.
Hmm. Agreed.
You guys gonna need more time, or should we?
I'm holding his thing.
Thank you, Cora. I got it now.
So the
Awesome.
scenario aspects have changed. A dark and foreign cavern and a breached vault.
Is it?
And I'm hoping that me and Brian have got a better broship going because of our
Yeah.
mutual hate.
Don't hold your breath.
Well, you know, sometimes mutual hate can become mutual friendship over time. Let's just, let's see where it goes.
Oh, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Especially when they hold tape.
Until the inevitable knife in the back.
Yeah.
Oh,
So who's going in?
Well, I did. What did Therm develop?
Do I have to roll or anything?
Yes, you do.
So building shit.
Mm-hmm.
rolling. Thermidor is rolling. I want to know what that is, because I might smoke it.
All right, so you managed to put together a very rough RF detector. Anything that will tell you if there are any electronic signals or anything technical that might get in your way.
I'm joking, by the way.
So it should give you a general direction of which way the power armor went.
by the way, does it look anything like the Ghostbusters thing where they're doing the PKE
No.
and the thing flies up? No, nothing.
No.
Okay.
It's a very rough device that emits light beeps. So he swings it to once as he gets closer to where what he's looking for. It beeps faster.
Okay, because in my head canon, I keep picturing them holding up the PKA meter from Ghostbusters, the original, and the thing lights up, the little wings come up, and the little lights glow.
You're silly.
But, yeah, whatever.
So you guys going in?
I'm gonna take a look first to see what kind of tracks I see.
Okay.
And I waved the little meter around to make sure that there's nothing directly ahead of us.
I'm curious as to what these creatures or animals are, and I want to make sure that if there's anything. What bothering me so far is I haven't seen any dead ones.
You ever seen what?
I haven't seen any dead ones. If these things are crawling around, you would think all the other people bone in here would be killing them off. I'm not
Ooh.
finding bodies of creatures. I'm seeing tracks
Or
of
bodies
others.
people.
So
That's a
now
good
that we're
point.
past this door, I want to see, am I seeing any bodies of creatures?
You don't see any on this side of the door, but there do seem to be some oddly shaped shadows on the far side, still
Uh-oh.
unmoving.
That are moving?
No, unmoving.
Okay. And shadows, where's the light source?
Shadows, relative term in the darkness that you're in right now.
All right.
Do we have flashlights?
Do you?
I thought I had one, but let me look.
If we were going in the cavern, we would obviously bring them.
Okay, so you all have, let's say, a headlamp.
Yeah.
Well, I don't necessarily want to use too much of a light if it
Yeah, me
means
neither.
that light might show people who and where we are.
Yeah, but some of us don't have night vision like you guys do.
Well, if
Yeah.
if we can keep it low.
Yeah,
Okay.
Corva, let's say for this scenario, you have a new aspect I can see in the dark.
Okay.
Didn't she already have that?
Well, that was before we went to Fate. I had
Yeah.
night vision.
Oh,
And
okay.
Brian,
Yeah.
you have a bonus aspect for now. I hear everything.
Is that like I see people but with hearing?
So where would I?
It's a
do I
very
put that
double-edged
anywhere?
sword,
I have
intentionally
that
so.
aspect in real life. It's a curse.
Do I need to add that somewhere on my sheet?
Add it under extras.
All right, and it's
Oh. The light in here just went kind
Night
of
vision?
fuzzy, so
Yeah.
okay.
if you lose me, I'll reconnect.
Okay, doke.
What were extras, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, Corva, you crawl through the opening. It's big enough for you to walk through comfortably. After all, it was made to accommodate someone in massive armor. And as you get through and plop down on the other side, you look around, your eyes take a moment to adjust, and you see what look like skeletons at first.
All right.
Wispy frames with tattered fibrous dangling off them.
Oh, are they moving?
They are not moving.
Are they skeletons of people or animals?
Take a closer look.
I'm gonna take a closer look.
All right, why don't you roll awareness for me then? These are not human skeletons, but they were built to imitate them. These are mechanical.
Interesting.
Spindly and clearly fabricated. Not roughly, but not... They were meant to imitate human skeletons, but they weren't meant to replace them. It's a...
Almost like a scarecrow.
Kind of, yeah. On their bodies hang wisps of synth flesh, plastic covering that's supposed to imitate human skin, but not completely copy it. Everything about these things seem to imitate the human form in a very rough way, kind of like a child's drawing if they could build robots.
Sort of like waxworks thing, but
No, not an imitation, a facsimile, not an exact
that's what I
copy.
mean. Like for the public or for, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to like scare people off, like a sort
Not-
of modern scarecrow.
Hard to say. They are certainly chilling to look at. The skulls have mechanical eyeballs in them. They're what
Doing
look
a
like
real quick look at them, can I see if any of them have some kind of a power source that might still be
Usable.
usable?
It's hard for you to tell whether the power source. You find out where the power source is. It actually it looks like a standard power cell that you'd see almost anywhere.
I'm gonna whisper through the hole and ask Therm to be the next one to come through.
Okay.
I follow through. Take a look
Check.
at them.
And I just go, Therm, check this out. Are these robots?
How close? Tiffy, forgive me for not remembering, but Tiffy came. I know that.
Mhm.
And how many of her followers?
None.
Okay, so just Tiffy.
Yeah, but
And she's gone now.
she's gone back to report
Oh,
what
she-
she's
okay.
seen.
All right. No problem. I was just curious.
So, Therm, check them out.
What skill would you like to use, Mike?
Well, I have, like I said earlier, I have finding shit. I have also breaking shit,
Mm-hmm.
which might come in handy to, if I have to dig through.
This goes for all of you. You can use any skill you want if you can justify it to me. So if you want to reason why breaking shit would help you figure out the situation, tell me how you do it, or tell me why.
I think I'm gonna use breaking shit to
Okay.
take it apart
Mm-hmm.
to find out exactly what's in there. If there's any usable components that I might want, or things that might come in handy a little later. I'm kind of checking out like one of the robotic arms just because I think it's cool.
And I'm gonna just say, and when he came through the door, I'm gonna say, Therm, again, I want you to check these out. Are these robots? I want to make sure that these are dead robots, that they can't come back.
Well,
All right.
if I take its power cell, it's not coming back.
That's all right with me, baby. Break it up.
So, Mike, as you look through these robots, the first couple you look at, as I said, they all appear to be built in the facsimile of the human form, meant to imitate it, like someone was trying to build something, trying to build a series of things. As far as you can tell, the power cells still have quite a bit of juice in them, but for some reason the control mechanics for each one of these has failed. That it's been operating for so long and no one's repaired them, so the mechanics and the control mechanics and circuitry has deteriorated and died.
All right, so a lot of what's here is not really useful, but at least the power cells probably.
The mechanics are mostly fine. There's plenty of salvageable there, but any of the computer and control components have
electronic components.
deteriorated into nothing.
I see. Okay, so I'm gonna scavenge the power cell. Obviously, I'm gonna take some of the robotic components. I want the hand. I'm thinking of taking the skull.
Okay.
How many of these are there?
There's about 8 of them strewn around.
Okay, I'm going to cautiously scan the area before I approach, but I'm gonna pretty much raid all of the bodies in the area.
How you said there's like 8 of them?
Mhm.
How big are they? You said they were human, kind of made to look like they were supposed to be human. Were they the height of humans, or are they smaller? Or are they
They're
larger?
about average, about 5'4" through 5'6".
Can we tell how they died based on their remains? Because, for example, if they were just stabbed, killed, shot, they would pretty intense. If they were with an energy device, you know what I mean? Like there would be like a skull way off, and there would be like
They're
the ribs.
worn out. A lot of their he had mentioned that a lot of the parts look worn out, especially on the electronic side.
That's true.
As you
All right.
go around looting them, you come across one that looks like its skull was crushed by a massive boot on its way through. Like someone thought it'd be fun to pop one of these things as he walked past.
And that's fairly recent.
Yes.
I'll leave that for Therm to identify, because I'm not even. I'm like, okay, that's gross. I'll walk off.
And as you come up to the last one, it suddenly springs to life and grabs you by the arms.
I scream like a little bitch.
Oh my god.
How close am I?
You're about 5-6 feet away.
Okay, well that's gonna get me to jump into action right
Yeah.
off the bat. So I'm just gonna leap and tackle it.
It's lying on the ground.
And she's very reactive.
It's been lying down and suddenly
Hey, it's
reached up and
Therm,
it's
man.
got Therm by the sleeves.
Okay, by the sleeves.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then what I'm gonna
I
do
was
is I'm gonna.
trying to rip its guts out. So to speak. It said,
Oh my God.
I don't think so.
So, but it turns on.
Well,
Holy shit!
It's turned on,
Yeah.
and it's grabbed him by the sleeves.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay. I'm gonna try to extract him from it. I'm gonna try and pull back on Therm to see if I can get him away.
Okay, so skill.
It's just gonna have to be fight or strength, either one.
Go for
Therm,
it.
you had to check out the bodies, didn't you?
All right, so a quick shake of Therm is enough for it to release its grip, and it falls back to the floor, twitching, just like it's trying to move, but it's almost like it's either forgotten how, or it's just like it's in the middle of a death rattle.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can turn it off.
And
So
it's
I can
only
continue.
now that your indicator starts indicating that something's close by, Mike.
Oh wow. That works well. I'm gonna try to see if I can turn it off, and then I'm gonna continue rating it for parts once I know that.
When I see this happen, all I'm trying to do is kind of protect Mike, because I look at him like my little buddy, and I
Therm?
feel like I'm just kind of shadowing him in case he gets in over his head.
So, skill, Therm.
It's gonna be some more breaking shit. Although I should be familiar enough with where like the off button is, based on the other 7 that I've stripped down. So I'm just gonna go roll breaking shit.
Okay.
Darn window keeps popping up behind everybody's faces.
All right,
Nice.
now that you're familiar enough with it, you are able to bypass the grasping and spasming hands and easily remove the power pack. And as soon as you do, it stops moving. And you're able to continue looting the body in peace.
All right. I'm keeping my.
It startled me. That's why. why I
No doubt.
screamed.
Well,
But-
considering the amount of noise it probably made, I am now on high alert, looking down the continued pathway.
All right. It looking at the tracks, it seems like the passers-by didn't give these bodies a second thought, and they continued moving down the path.
Okay. Pardon me. Sorry about that.
Not dying, sorry.
That's going to be a miracle if we're not noticed.
Sorry,
It's
It wasn't
okay,
your
man.
fault.
it scared me.
Scared all of us.
I'm not going to say I was scared, but I need to change your clothes.
All right.
So I guess we're moving deeper into the.
First, I'm gonna ask Therm. I'm like, you have any idea of how long these have been sitting here?
They look like they've been here for a very, very long time. I mean, the wear on the electronics. I mean, that kind of wear does not happen. It takes hundreds of years, I guess, for it to deteriorate that badly.
Especially in a dry environment like this.
I'm trying to figure out whether or not these are the creatures that the pikemen were supposedly fighting, or not.
Who knows? All I know is from here on in, we've got to be as stealthy as church mice.
I'm gonna scan real quick.
Which is impressive considering church mice get to be about 3 to 6 feet long.
Here. in Yukon, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but have you ever tried to catch one of those buggers?
And don't even get me started on rats.
It's just, I look at
Well,
Dango going,
that's-
like, what, you haven't eaten them? Come on.
What? They're church mouse.
Well, whoever is leading, should I hand them the scanner so they don't step into a trap?
Well, I have night vision, so hopefully I can see most of it. If any is no.
No,
And
no,
this
no,
is
okay.
why I took control of the cameras.
I don't know who he's referring to.
Yeah, I
Over
don't need-
there, not this one, but the one after. Like, wait. Oh, no.
Give it to Corva or
Yeah, right over here. Over here. Can't see, but I'm pointing at her.
Give it to me. Okay.
here you go.
Fine. I've got the scanner and I'm looking around. So
You can see things, but this might be able to tell you more information.
I'm just thinking that, yeah.
So I quickly show her how to use it. You push this button and that button. Now, don't push the red button. No,
Toggle the switch, turn the knob.
I am Groot.
I am Groot. Yeah.
So as you move on down,
Oh yeah. Brian, what you got there?
I don't know. It's started spinning. Not sure.
It just started doing that?
Yeah. Look, it's still going.
that's when you notice a light up ahead begin pulsing in red.
I start to freak the fuck out.
It's high up in the cavern. It doesn't appear to be. It's kind of hard to see what it is, but it's a very slow kind of.
The closer I get it, the faster it spins.
Do you know what that's for?
They gave it to me over at the Fargo Farms office. I have no idea what it does. Supposedly, it's supposed to help us. One thing I've learned about working there,
Yeah?
help is a relative term.
Oh, great. Okay. I keep looking down and at the scanner. Is the scanner picking up anything of this thing that I'm seeing ahead?
It's lightly beeping. Whatever's controlling the light is not the same. It is not what the scanner was built to detect.
Oh, okay.
But as you come closer to the source of the light, it is high up in the ceiling of the cavern and casts an eerie red glow every time it pulses and pulses. And
red is a good thing. That means that it's lighting up everything underneath it and makes it very easy for me to see.
right. It also doesn't harm everyone else's night vision.
Right.
Whoa!
But as you come to the center of this light and stop directly beneath it, you take a look around and you see shapes with each pulse. And the shapes appear to be moving.
All right. I'm very quiet. Now, are we kind of
Guys?
on the edge of a cavern, on the entrance to the cavern, or the entrance to this bigger room? Or?
You're a couple hundred yards deeper in the cavern from the door.
Okay.
Guys?
I'm a little worried about Dango, but at the same time, I'm going to turn off the scanner and hand it back to Thurn.
I stick it in my pocket.
This thing's trying to get away from me.
Put it in your pocket.
I look around to see if there's like anywhere where we can take cover if we need to.
And I'm also going to pull out my rifle.
The shapes seem to be milling around you, aimless and mostly directionless. They don't seem to notice you,
Now the center's spinning.
but there's no sound coming from either except for the occasional creak of a joint.
Are they more of those robots, but perhaps ones that are still active?
It's hard to tell. The light seems to it's hard to tell in that light at the moment, but the longer you're under that spot, you start to notice some of the details. And yes, they do appear to be those same type of robots, except these are ambulatory. These are moving around. But the
Did
ones
you say ambulatory?
Yes, I said
Yeah.
ambulatory.
I like it.
But as you glance at these, they're shamblers, just kind of swaying from left to right, jaws slack, and a synthetic tongue kind of hanging out of the side. Just
Okay, we can either take them out and not worry about them, or we can just ignore them and hope that they ignore us. However, if they decide not to ignore us, we might find ourselves overwhelmed by them later. How many are there? Are we able to make out how many?
there are about 10 of them.
And
Shit's about to get real.
well, and I'm looking around the room itself. Is there anything else in this area besides them? I mean, is there any other? I mean, the light seems going, lighting them up and then darkening, lighting them up and they're darkening. Am I seeing what might be a central computer system of some kind, or?
There do seem to be a few more shapes ahead of you. It's hard to make them out from this distance in the dark. At least for you, Corva. No one else would probably see them.
Ross, in the fate system, can a fellow player compel another player?
You can compel other players, but it will cost you a fate point to compel a different player.
So I'm going to compel Terry to explain why she would understand the core of a... no offense. simply
Not
trying to
taken. I
roleplay.
can actually. Okay,
You know,
go for it.
you know where I'm going with
I
this.
am. Okay.
Like,
That's-
I'm going to compel Terry. Where are you going where you understand how, if you take out the center of it, you know what I'm saying? Like the computer.
That's not how compels work.
Oh, sorry.
You can ask her that in character,
Okay,
but
so-
compels and
all right,
invocations are tied to your aspects.
Okay. So retract that then, because
Now, for Terry, if you wanted to compel her to do something, you would do something like live free or die hard. You would try and compel her into an action if she was feeling oppressed by someone.
Yeah,
So
I have no reason to
someone
do
goes
that,
up
so-
to Terry and they start saying something. You could do something like, "Help! Help! She's being repressed."
nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying, like, out of character.
Well, in character, if you're asking me, why would I know about the existence
Well,
of a central
I'm not
core?
asking a character because
Okay.
my guy doesn't have any clue either. So
Oh no, she does. You have to remember
Yeah.
where she was. She was fucking created by a scientific lab.
So-
yeah,
Terry.
exactly.
The pulsing light, you suddenly remember. It doesn't bother you because you remember. This is part of the mechanism that opens the vault doors. This is one of the
Yeah.
waypoints.
Yeah.
A
See,
kind
this is
of-
all looking like it was part of an arc. So, it looks kind of vaguely home-like or hometown-like. Yeah.
But also
Home
potentially
lab.
concerning because this is tied to the exterior security system. It's a monitoring station or a
shit.
monitoring
So I don't
Like
necessarily want to get under that red
a
light.
remote camera.
Okay.
Well, if someone had noticed you, they would have piped up over the PA system by now.
Yeah. Well, I thought we were still kind of 100 yards out.
You've still got a bit before you get to the vault proper.
Right. Okay. So I kind of know
The
what's
arc
going
proper.
on the inside here, and I'm not sure exactly what these things are being controlled by, if anything, or if that is broken enough to where they're not going to attack us. I would like to ask Therm if he has any ability to I'm going to turn and say, Therm, look, this area, it looks familiar to me.
Okay.
It looks a lot like an arc. And that red light reminds me of a camera security kind of system that we used to have. I don't know if it's tied to those robots or not. Is there a way for you to if I can tell you or explain to you what something looks like, whether or not you might be able to not disassemble, but deactivate all of them.
I do have hacking shit as a skill, so yeah, I can probably
shit?
figure it out.
Well,
Do
for,
it.
Alright.
for hacking, you would need a computer terminal.
Yeah,
That's what I need to
some kind of
find. So
interface.
what I need to do now is I want to move closer in, get a really good look.
Are we
at what's in
avoiding
here.
the light?
I'm
or-
trying to avoid the light.
You
Yeah.
can't avoid the light.
Okay, so we're already in it?
You're directly underneath the light.
Oh, I thought we were in a tunnel that led to an open cavern. I apologize. And that we were still in the tunnel.
No, you're underneath the light. That's how you're able to. That's how everyone's
then
now able to
screw
make
it.
out.
So if we had triggered something, we would have been now. I
Right.
get it. All right. Can I see anything that looks like it might be a computer interface terminal?
It's hard to see if there's anything like a computer interface, but there are a couple of shadowed shapes a little further down the tunnel. You can't
Does-
make them out even with your sight, and
Does
so
my
you're
s-
the only one who can see them at the moment.
Does my
Okay.
turret scanner indicate anything in those directions?
Your scanner is kind of going off because of all of the shambling robots around you. So it's hard to make out anything from the noise.
How close are we to these robots?
They're out of the center of this part of the cavern, but I'd say about 8 feet or so.
Oh, so really, if they see us,
But they don't
So
seem to be reacting to you.
okay, then I'm not going to worry too much about them. If they're not attacking me right off the bat, then I say we.
Sensors.
Dango, you should probably watch her back. You make sure
Yeah.
that the robots don't change their mind.
I mean, I have my guns out, but by the way, where's Tiffy? Where is she?
She
left.
left, so a while ago.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry. So I'm gonna say, guys, for Tiffy.
Oh God.
Oh God.
And I'm going. Yes, you know where I'm going with this. I'm just gonna be like proactive because the robots are not just sitting there, right?
They're not doing anything. Why would you make a whole bunch of
Phineas?
noise?
Phineas, stop. If you poke the bear, we could.
Okay,
bring
so you
God
guys
knows
say
what
stop.
down on us.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm like about to go charging in,
And we all go, no.
and you guys go no, and I say, it's so tempting. I got my guns out, and I'm like, okay, fine. We'll wait till the robots, and I do air quotes, the robots have a chance to talk.
Do you have any impulse control at all?
No.
All right.
If only one of you had a trouble aspect that I could invoke and make this a lot more complicated right now.
Oh God. So we're gonna move on, right?
So, Corva, you saw those shapes up ahead. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna walk through the robots.
Okay.
Walk through them.
Yeah.
So, as you move forward, the robots' movements have kind of ebbed and flowed in different spots. A few have crossed in front of you, kind of in between you. But as you start to move forward, Corva, you notice that they've suddenly, as you went to restrain Bog, the robots have shifted, and now they're kind of bunched up ahead of you.
Are they
Interesting.
blocking my way?
They're not blocking your way, but it is going to make it
We're
a little
walking.
difficult to move forward.
They're looking at
Okay.
us.
Not difficult as in impossible. They're not pressed up against each other, but you will have to kind of weave a little bit to get through. Enough that
Could
I'm going to ask you to make a skill roll to make it through.
You said impassable, not impossible.
Dooku.
There is a difference.
Mediocre or
Well, what
great,
skill
what
would you like
way?
to use?
stealth.
Are you discovering a stealth skill?
No, I have one.
You do?
Oh shit.
I see.
It's under good +3 next to my tracking and stealth.
Oh, wait, that's Bog's sheet.
Stop looking at my stuff. Come on now.
I'm the DM. I can look at everything. I know everything. All right, so go ahead and roll.
I feel violated.
He is the great and powerful Oz. He sees all. He knows all. He does all. Also
I'm the
makes him an
scarecrow who
enterprise.
didn't get his brains.
All right, Corva.
I want to sneak by him.
She's super Dorothy.
Oh boy.
Oh, God.
You start to move through, doing your best to try and weave in and out between these densely packed robots. You are doing good most of the way, but your
Most of the
focus is too far ahead and not on your own footing. So you stumble upon a rock and end up barreling directly into one of these things.
All right.
It utters a strange hissing as it falls and clatters to the ground, where it does not get back up again, but it does thrash and move, taking several of the other robots with it, about 6 in all, leaving 4 still standing, and they all of them turn directly towards you.
That's
Each of them.
generous.
Oh, crap.
Do it again.
Time for Dingo in a headshot.
I wouldn't chance firing Lucille in here just
Nah.
because of
Each and every one of their arms suddenly.
And are they all prone?
6 are prone, flopping on the ground, unable to move.
I'm going to try and pull out their... Because I've been watching Therm, I'm going to try and pull out their power packs.
I'm gonna tap Bog on the shoulder and to indicate to him to follow me, and I'm gonna make a run to tackle these guys down to drop them to the ground.
And
Yeah,
I'm going to sort of follow up on the recent bromance and go along with okay.
All
Hold my
right, so
guns.
Brian, what skill are you going to be using to do that?
Ooh, I am gonna be using end up a second to have to pull up my character sheet because it was down.
Shoot shit. There should be a skill called shoot shit.
I think Therm has that.
I have one called shooting shit.
Oh really?
Well, I'm also going to be running up and trying to take out, since I'm very familiar with. But then again, this one's active.
I was going to say, it might be
Alright.
a little bit... I'm just going to
Yeah.
bullshit.
Oh, why did I put
Oh,
dodging instead of fighting?
Yep. I'm simply backing Brian up, basically.
Why did I put dodging instead of fighting? I should have put fighting. Not too late. Too late to change it, right?
We can change it later on.
Alrighty.
If you don't have it, you can always roll mediocre. Or if you can justify it, you could always try using a different skill and perhaps invoke a aspect to make it that much more badass.
Possibly we are sinking because he's saying he invoked me to come with him, right? So he's like, shoot that guy, and like maybe we have a crossfire thing going on. I don't know.
I'm not shooting that guy. We
alright.
We don't want to get found out, so a gunshot would ring through the cave and everyone would hear it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which is why I'm trying to shut them up by pulling their power packs if I can reach them.
I have encountered these creatures before in my travels. Creatures, creatures like these semi-synthetic
Creature
creatures.
figure. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm going. There is a. These are robots, right?
Yes.
Okay. There is a control mechanism that basically governs motor skills for the legs,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to use my knowledge. Oh man, I'm going to use my knowledge of lore to open that box up and rip out the wiring connections.
All right, go ahead. Okay, so you lunge at the first of these shambling robots with the intent of, using your experience in robots similar to them before to disable it. Unfortunately, these robots aren't the ones. They're similar, but they're not the exact same type, so the mechanism you're looking for isn't there. So as you're fumbling with it, you lose balance, and the thing falls directly on top of you, leaving you under it.
It's happening again.
I always end up under things. But in doing so, you manage to dislodge the power core, and the thing falls silent.
Which means it also can't get off of me under its own power.
It is a little heavy, yeah.
Yeah.
At least it's not kicking you in the ribs anymore.
So,
Okay. I guess my next action would be to basically point to the power core on the creature for Phineas to yank out of some of the other ones.
Okie doke. Phineas. Phineas.
Bog.
George.
Figures.
Point at the power core for Corva to rip out of some of them.
So
Considering
Bog's taking
I'm
a
down on the
moment.
floor with 6 of them, that would be great
Okay.
news.
Doesn't help. Is Therm with us?
I'm still here.
Okay, Therm. For Therm.
I know where the power cores are.
I don't have to tell you, so why aren't you helping me?
So I was waiting for my turn. So just go ahead and
Phineas, are you there?
Nope, not yet.
so I'll just go ahead and break shit again
Okay.
because
Make your roll.
Break it good.
yes, break it good.
And we'll do Phineas's turn afterwards.
Big number.
Was it Therm's turn?
Oh,
I don't
not
know.
really, but
All right, so Therm, you charge for a different one. However, you're more adept at this, so you are able to grab the pack and pull it out without much ado. But
About nothing.
oh, he's
Oh,
back.
there he is.
He is back.
I'm around. Wait, did I miss something?
You missed
Yes.
your
I see
turn.
you for like 2 minutes.
So sorry, guys. I went to the bathroom and thinking I wasn't needed. I apologize.
What
Okay.
happens
What
every
did you
time
need
that
from me?
happens?
What did you need from me? I'm sorry.
Well, wait till Therm's done.
Okay.
Yeah, after Therm.
So Therm, as you yank this one out and that robot falls, the next one, the one immediately next to it, turns and tries to grapple you.
okay. So let me see. I'm going to roll a mediocre
Okay.
skill as I'm going to try to fight back.
Okie doke.
Can I assist him in any way? Like, is the
You're
robot
on the
standing
ground,
in a place
dude.
where I can?
You can offer emotional support.
Go there.
Yay!
Go there. Go. My ribs are cracking.
Sometimes you have to just accept that you can't do nothing, man.
But Therm, you've still got 2 empty skill slots if you want to discover a new skill.
Discover a skill.
I can fighting shit.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh my god, that would be an awesome aspect. Fighting.
Although earlier I was thinking maybe after talking to Tiffy, I
God.
could have discovered talking shit.
Talking shit. Is that a new game? Is that a new a show hosted by Chris Hardwick?
I feel like I have to make a whole podcast about somebody named Tiffany.
But anyways, perhaps I do unlock a little bit of confidence in fighting, so that is now a new average.
And the pikeman you were talking technobabble with gave you a few pointers as well.
That you were talking shit too.
All right, use your newly discovered skills.
Okay, so
Go for it.
so fighting shit, right?
Yep.
All right.
I love it.
All right, so it turns to grapple you, but you, with your newly or freshly coached skills, are able to evade it mostly and trip it over. but you weren't able to grab the power pack before it fell to the ground.
At least it's... Well, does it stay down? That's the question.
Ruh-roh.
It seems like once these things fall down, they don't get back up.
Okay.
Yay!
Like the only reason they're standing is out of habit.
Yay!
All right, so now it's Bog's turn.
Yep. Bog.
Yes.
Phineas tries to call to you, Brian
Dang.
tries to call to you in
Yep.
order to get your attention to get a robot off of him.
Okay.
But due to your inattention, your distractibility,
Okay.
you completely misunderstand his instructions and go to reach for the skull of one of the robots. So,
What do you mean by distracted? Isn't that one of them that's attacking him? Or are you talking about a different robot?
and as you grip this skull, I'm going to compel you to have a traumatic flashback.
Oh my god!
You see a face from your past in that skull, and then the bones that you held in your arm shortly after.
Okay.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, my character has... Okay. He's always been a wise guy. He's always been a shenanigan, a con man. However, at one point, a woman sort of convinced him that it might be worth settling down and having a family. And he lost both of them. So he's maybe having a flashback of the moment where somebody shot her in front of me because, I owed him money, I ripped him off, and I was trying to be a better man. But she was like my fan. She was like my true fan. You can change. You can be a better man. And I said, by whose standards? And she said, your standards. And she tried to change those standards. However, when it happened and she was shot in front of me, I was like, my character was, pretty much mentally wiped out. He was like, you know what I mean? He was completely effed up. And so when I pick up the skull, I say, I'm remembering death. I'm remembering the death of a person that meant everything to me. So,
as the rest of you are brushing off the dust from this scuffle and dispatching the rest of the robots, you notice that Phineas is rather quiet. He's on his knees, clutching the severed skull of this robot and openly weeping in
Horatio.
Well,
oh my
well
god.
played.
in a remarkably genuine gesture for him. All the bravado, all of the
Good point.
all of the jabbering talk, everything that you've become familiar with about Phineas
You've come to expect
is
from
stripped
me.
away for this
Yeah.
moment.
Right.
Until he composes himself and it's gone again.
But I don't say Horatio.
No.
No.
And if I did, I must have an old book. So
He steps up, brushes himself off, tosses the skull aside, takes a step forward, and then stumbles on something, falling and hitting his face.
okay, yeah, I'll deal with that.
It sounds like Phineas.
Yep.
What
So
did he
I'm
stumble
still-
on? Someone take a look.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I'm
Dude,
still
what did you-
on my feet, right? And so
Yeah.
is Corva?
Did I get back up after my? Did we take down the 6 guys I've been trying to deal with?
Therm took care of them. Brian is still under the other skeleton, though.
Oh, okay. Is that what he tripped over?
No.
Oh,
All right, so let's... so all the robots are now down, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm the only one standing. Yes! That's an odd turn of events, but so I go because Brian is the one in I don't know the most compromised position. I'm gonna go help him and hopefully.
Do not draw mustache. I have already.
As I'm going over to help Brian, am I able to see what Phineas tripped on?
It is relatively large, especially and solid compared to all of the robots you just felled, and it appears to be made of a gray metal.
A gray metal.
Yeah.
At large.
Mm-hmm.
So
You'll have to take
is
a
it
closer
like-
look to see what it is.
All right.
I'll get up and help Dango.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and take a closer look then.
All right. As you get closer, you see a relatively humanoid figure. The gray metal appears to be large armor plates.
Ah,
Uh-oh.
Large armored plates.
And as you get closer, you see the emblem of an owl on his chest and a face contorted in painful agony, long devoid of life.
Is it possible that my character knows this symbol? Because he has been around.
All of you know this symbol. It's one
You do?
you've seen throughout Pains Pike since the moment you got here.
It's one of the.
it's the Crusader.
It is the Crusader.
Oh, okay.
So this is now. Now, have I been able to help Dango up yet?
Yeah, Dango's
Okay.
up. And as you all look at the Crusader, you feel a distinct sense of dread. What the hell took down a fully armored Crusader, and where's the rest of his squad? And it's
Tiffy.
on that note that we'll call it for the night.
Call it a night. Yeah, damn it. This is a Corva looks. Oh,
I love Tiffy.
God.
You seem to like all my female NPCs.
No,
Yeah,
you
that's-
yeah.
literally. It's not because of that. It's because Tiffy is Tiffy.
Oh my God.
she is
And
so
Paige-
affected.
She is so
Paige
effective.
is Paige.
She is an excellent commander.
Oh
Yes.
my God! Do you believe her? Look at back at her.
God,
Well, I looked at Paige's butt, but thank you for asking.
she must be like one of those rappers' girlfriends or something.
I mean, totally for real.